Did AB plan on leading the Raiders from the very beginning?
I have no inside knowledge of this, but if you're asking my opinion, and this is just my opinion, duh, of course he did. This was an inside job, it looks like, from the outside. Just as Rich Paul catches heat, right, for orchestrating things very well. Did it look like the Cleveland Cavaliers a couple years ago were a Clutch Sports inside job? Well, of course it did. I was critical of the Lakers. I'm like, wait, this is a Clutch Sports inside job. What are you not giving them the coach for? You're going to get the coach. You're going to get AD. Anthony Davis. You're going to get everything. That's what this looks like with Rosenhaus and Belichick. Let's be honest here. Think about what happened. Okay, just the facts, guys. Here are just the facts. You connect the dots. The dots connect themselves. What did Belichick want? He wanted to trade for Antonio Brown, according to reports, was willing to give up a first-round draft pick for Antonio Brown. Steelers said, no, we want a first and a second. Belichick balked, of course. He went for a third and a fifth to the Raiders. Soon as he gets to the Raiders, why would he want to go to the Raiders? You can't win. He's not going to win with the Raiders, but he got his guaranteed money. Aha, he was crazy like a fox. He was acting a fool, and throwing tantrums to get out and get his money. Oh, he got his money. Oh, wait a minute. He's really crazy. Look at this. He's giving them a problem with the helmet. Drew Rosenhaus says, well, they got off to a bad foot because of the helmet. That wasn't the Raiders. That was the NFL. Then a million other things, including taping a conversation with Gruden.
Which is illegal.
Which is illegal in the state of California unless both parties know about it. But, guys, Gruden's not going to sue Antonio Brown. That's a distraction from the job at hand. And people would have to know that going in before he even does that. Now the Patriots magically have the exact cap space to give him not only about $10 million up front, but then $20 million team option, which is the same next year,
exactly
the same $30 million he was going to get. Now you say, well, that's a team option, because this is how deals are done in real life. I'm not saying this happened, but I could imagine. We want the option. Well, I have to make sure he's not actually crazy, says Belichick. If I was doing faces on sticks, I'd have to make sure. So we're going to keep that option, but you have my word. If he's not crazy, he's going to get the $20 million. Same $30 million to play on the Patriots. They gave up 0 draft picks. These dots connect themselves. And by the way, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But if you're asking me my opinion, oh, my God.
My opinion vibes with yours. I agree. I think that. Let me say this. That's not my concern. Drew Rosenhaus did a fabulous job talking with us just now. Do I think that he was not being forthcoming about some things? Of course I do. And that's his job, because if he were to be more revealing and more forthcoming about the interactions that went on, if he was my agent, I'd fire him on the spot. So he ain't supposed to say that stuff, all right? So Drew Rosenhaus did his job. What I would like to ask people on a day like today, I'm going to bring up Rich Paul. I'm going to bring up Bill Duffy and Aaron and Eric Goodwin and all of these boys. And I'm going to say, just the same way we accord Drew Rosenhaus the level of praise and throw laudables in his direction for being who he is, in his zealous efforts for representing his client, let's make sure to accord that same respect to Rich Paul and the others.
That's why I brought up Rich Paul, by the way.
When it comes to LeBron James. But let's also understand this, and Damian, you know where I'm going when I say this. It's a hell of a big difference, an ocean-wide of difference between Antonio Brown and LeBron James. You see, when you have a guy like LeBron James, a superstar in this league, a champion in this league, what we don't do enough is recognize the class that he has exercised throughout his stellar career. LeBron James, to this day, the only blemish on his career in terms of his conduct was that the decision. That's it. Antonio Brown has lied. He has played teammates and organizations. He's acted like a clown. He has embarrassed his organization, himself. He's thrown brothers under the bus. Mike Tomlin, our very own Ryan Clark, Juju Smith-Schuster, when he's DMing you private text messages and stuff like that, and you revealed those things publicly. He did the same thing just now to John Gruden. They had a conversation. Drew Rosenhaus connected them. What does this dude do? He goes and he publicizes the conversation on YouTube. This man has exhibited and displayed a level of selfishness, the likes of which most of us haven't seen. I don't ever want to hear T.O.'s name again mentioned in this breath, not compared to him.
No.
I don't ever want to hear Randy Moss's name mentioned, not compared to this. I've never seen anything like it. He should be ashamed of himself. And I'm going to say this last point, then I'm going to give it to you. I understand that as black men, we have experiences that other people don't have, and we express our points of view or whatever. But understand why. Because you got people on the come up that are going to be looking to emulate that. And they will never get away with what he got away with. And usually those of us that are in a privileged position understand it. And we're sensible enough and unselfish enough to make sure that we don't sully the pathway for others on the come up. We guard it with our very lives and our very careers so we can make sure that we don't do damage to those who will follow us. Antonio Brown didn't care. I don't give a damn about him being with the Patriots or whatever. What I give a damn about is the nonsense that he engaged in to get to this point. It's disgraceful. I'm ashamed of this brother. That's all I wanted to say. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.